Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu making an announcement that the current lockdown restrictions in the country could last up to a full year. In Israel, we're going to break this down. Before I go any further, guys, if you enjoy my daily content here on YouTube, I encourage you could help support the ministry, help donate to the channel for as little as $5 a month, patreon.com/conservativetruth. That link in the description also gets you access to over 20 exclusive podcasts where I talk more about sensitive information. You get the alerts for anything that goes on the Patreon platform. Unlike YouTube, you won't be notified for all the videos that I do. So when you get done watching me here, browse back to check what you've missed. Please like this video, share it, hit the bell, subscribe, and I wear the glasses because I'm blind. Now, like I said, Benjamin Netanyahu announcing that the current lockdown restrictions in the country of Israel could last possibly up to 1 full year. Now, I'm going to tie this into a little bit of why I think this might be, and also why I think it's happening in the timing, especially this current timing that we're in right now when it comes to the fall feast and everything going on there in Israel. Now, for those that remember, it was said a couple of weeks ago that Israel was going to put the country on another lockdown. They had rising corona cases once again. This was going to effectively, go right through, Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets, the Feast of Tabernacles. This is right at the time where Jews are celebrating there in Israel. This is like one of the best times of the year there. But now the people are basically restricted to their homes. They can only go out for essential items, much like how it was in the United States when this whole thing first started. They could pretty much go to the store, get your food, get your medicine, and then come on back home after that. Now, the current lockdown was scheduled to expire around the 8th of October. The country deciding to extend that, though, to October the 14th. However, Netanyahu is saying that don't expect a full lifting of this lockdown at all. In fact, he said that some forms of this lockdown are going to last up to a full year. He said, we're not going to do what we did in the beginning. This is going to be a very slow recovery. Then we can finally maybe lift this thing, he said, after a full year. I think that's absolutely ridiculous that they're even doing that. That Prime Minister Netanyahu would actually impose these kinds of lockdowns on his country. This is the apple of God's eye. You want to talk about a country that should not be on a lockdown? It's Israel. But here's the thing. They reported over 9,000 new cases on Wednesday, September 30th. Now, that is the highest number of cases that they have had since this whole thing first started. Now, why is this happening? Why are they getting so many of these cases? Well, let me just say this. These Middle East peace deals that have been being made, look, between the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, many others that are now coming to the table. Look, this is dangerous. If you take a look at these peace deals, a lot of what it says, and it's not going to be reported in the media, but that this would eventually give way to a Palestinian state. What does that effectively do? It creates a two-state solution. What does the Bible say not to do? Do not part the land. Do not divide the land of Israel. It is specifically instructed by God not to do that. So, in theory, peace sounds good. Of course it does. Who doesn't want peace? But the Bible also says when they say peace and safety, then comes sudden destruction. So there might be a temporary peace, but if this is going to lead to a Palestinian state and Israel giving up part of their land, this is going to bring judgment upon them. And I think we might be seeing the early signs of it now. I think this is why, in part, these lockdowns are back, why they're happening in the, prophetic fall season here with the, Jewish feast days that are going on here, the fall feasts that are happening. And now Netanyahu talking about that these could last up to a year to some degree or form. They might be a little bit milder. They might loosen some of the restrictions before then. But the fact that they're still going to be having people on a lockdown of sorts for that long, I'm telling you what right now, this is very telling. This is very prophetic what we're seeing take place right now. Because, like I said, a lot of people aren't going to tell you that, but it's in the text. You can read it. There is pages upon pages in these peace deals. What it would be, what would Israel would have to give up in order for this to be possible. So that's my thought on why I think this is happening. What do you guys think? You could let me know down below in the comments section. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think that these lockdowns and these rise in cases are partially, involving these new peace deals that are taking place with Israel and other Middle Eastern countries? Let me know. I'll put some more information in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back with more. You guys take care. Please be safe out there. God bless each and every single one of you, and I'll talk with you soon.